Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I really didn't have anything prepared other than the fact that two conversations. Number one, hand roll your cigars, and number two, being a black woman getting into the industry. So I wanted to start off with what got you interested in.
Is this preliminary first?
Yeah, we just talking to it.
So are we rolling?
I've been recording for like 5 minutes already.
Gosh, Rebecca,
Yeah.
you have to prepare me.
You prepare as soon as you walk through the door.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Lights, camera, action. I'm ready.
Lights, camera, action. Yeah, yeah. Okay. But yeah. So when I saw you at the event, and this is just be yourself.
Okay.
Like don't think that this has got to be like all prim and proper and all that kind of stuff.
Y'all say, hey, Jamaica. Tell them who you are.
Jamaica Sims, podcaster of The Cigarist, and I am interviewing Nico, and I'm trying to get all the tea on how she got into this industry, because I am very interested in how she got into the hand roll business of cigars. And I can't believe I said all the tea.
It's all good. Tea. All good. Because I'm a speaker, but sometimes you have so much in your brain that I had to write down some talking points. So
and it's back and forth, so you can ask me questions as well.
Okay. All right.
It's no different than if we was just sitting down in a lounge and just having a conversation.
Oh, cool.
So there's no pressure of oh my God, I messed up. Let me go back and say this again. It's like, no,
gotcha.
you don't have to worry about
gotcha.
that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to put myself back on.
So I know you said that you was...
Sorry. I'm listening.
No, you good. Okay. I know you were saying that you wanted to do more social media stuff to get the brand out there.
Yes.
So do you constantly... Because I've...
You've been watching me, Jamaica.
You make it sound so dirty. Like... I'm not stalking you. I'm just
No. I know that. Come on.
You've been watching me? Like, no. So once we made a connection at the golfing event.
Yes.
You actually made me go down a rabbit hole, because I had to think about it for a second when you said it. Mm-hmm. You were saying that you was being blocked or banned from like TikTok when you post certain stuff. Mm-hmm. And so then that's when I was just like, wait a minute. I know promoting tobacco in a certain way on social media and through regular media is, banned or frowned upon or something like that. But I didn't know the extent of social media part. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I wanted to look into that to see what can and cannot be done. Because one of the things I wanted to do with this podcast was to promote cigar brands.
Gotcha.
Independent, entrepreneurs such as yourself, as well as larger. And so I wanted to know what was the parameters of what I can and cannot promote. So the traditional way of promoting, you can, but you can promote. So I can't say where your cigar is this and it's available to purchase at this and this and this, but I can promote a lifestyle that has your cigars within it.
And it depends on the platform as well.
Right.
So with Facebook probably being one of the oldest platforms, you can pretty much say anything on there.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't say almost anything, but I've seen a lot, as well on Instagram and of course on YouTube.
Right.
The trouble that I kind of ran into was TikTok. At first, when I started on TikTok, I was able to post certain things, and most recently, which being this year, it started flagging me.
Okay.
And so I just stuck with Instagram and Facebook because they feed into each other.
Yeah, they own. Yeah.
Yeah. However, I know that there are a lot of TikTokers. When they almost shut TikTok down and everybody almost shot themselves in the carotid earlier this year.
Right.
And
the crazy thing of buying a phone for like $10,000 that still had the Apple on there or something like that. That was crazy.
Yeah. So I know there is a TikTok community out there that's the only thing that they do. So I know it's important for me to make sure that I'm a part of that platform as well. So it's just a matter of just trying to find the different nuances to try to swing around what can be said and what cannot be said and start utilizing it.
So let's go to the beginning, right? So what got you interested in cigars?
Good question. So as I was thinking about what I was going to talk about with you today, I embarked upon a journey as far as how long I've actually been smoking cigars. And this year makes 25 years. And I'm only 25 years old.
Yes. So you started when you was a baby. Okay. All right.
So yeah, it's been 25 years. I used to attend the Essence Festival a lot.
Okay.
Pre-Katrina.
Okay.
And some girlfriends and I were down, just, going about traveling up and down Canal, just mingling. And we passed by a cigar lounge. I don't remember what it was at the time, but it's still there now. Okay. And it was on Canal Street.
Okay.
So it was a very open lounge. You could just go in and kind of chill out. So some brothers, some girlfriends were in there, and we just kind of went in and chilled out. Now, that was my first time embarking upon a cigar lounge. Not my first time smoking, because, I wanted to make sure I had good eye vision when I got older, right? But anyway, that was my first time embarking upon a cigar. Okay. So I went in there, did not know anything about cigars. So when I went into the humidor, I explained that to the gentleman that was in the humidors. I've never smoked before, so I don't know what to ask for. So he asked me different questions like, what do I like to eat? What do I like to drink? Things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So I shared with him what I like to eat and what I like to drink. So he gave me 2 cigars. Mm-hmm. Now, me being a cigar aficionado, looking back, I didn't know what the cigars were at that time. And it's so much when it comes to a cigar, what people don't even realize. Right. But he gave me 2 cigars. One of the cigars was a Drew Estate cigar, which is actually what I'm smoking now, is Isla de Sol.
Okay.
And the other one was an Arturo Fuente Opus X.
Okay.
Now, if you smoke cigars, those are 2 totally different cigars. Yeah. Totally different. Mm-hmm. But for me, I think he wanted to expose me to one end of the spectrum and another end of the spectrum. Okay. And to this day, 25 years later, these are 2 of my favorite cigars.
Oh, really?
Really are. So when you asked me what I want to smoke today, of course, the first thing I said was Leaf by Oscar, because that's something that I like. But as I walked around the humidor and I saw this, I was like, yeah. Let me take myself back.
Okay. That's one of the things that I learned about when I started working here at the Cigar Bank, which is located in downtown McDonough, Georgia, was that Miguel would always say, like, always start with a good cigar story. Mm-hmm. And everybody has a cigar story. Yeah. And it's all unique stories. Like, absolutely. Everybody get introduced to cigars in a very unique way. Right. And so for you was partying on Canal Street.
Partying on Canal.
And
at Essence Festival.
At Essence Festival.
That was rest in peace, D'Angelo, but his song had just came out, How Does It Feel? So I was coming down there to see D'Angelo. Okay. He was headlining at the time, so yeah.
Okay. And so that's pretty much so when I met you at the golfing tournament, the celebrity golfing tournament, mm-hmm. and I was there to interview Phil. Yes. And so
my brother's Lee Phil. Hi.
Yeah. And so walking around and I see a lady tent, and she was sitting down there rolling hand rolled cigars, and I was like, oh, okay.
Makes you go,
Yeah. Like, all right, cool. That's what's up. Then I met you. And you said that was your assistant, your cousin. Who's that?
No, my sister was with me and my brother.
Your sister,
yeah,
okay.
Nikki and Bruce.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so when y'all introduce yourselves, I was just like, wait, y'all do hand roll cigars. And be honest with you, I haven't seen that here in Georgia.
Gotcha.
At all.
Really?
When I go to Florida, of course,
La Ferrona, Ybor City.
Yep. Every store has that there.
Yep.
And then even when I go to New Orleans, going to the cigar lounges, they have a hand roll, somebody who's actually in there hand rolling cigars.
Cigar Factory,
yes.
I gotta tell you a story about that as well.
Okay. And so when I go there and even when I go to Miami on South Beach, they have somebody there that's they're selling their hand rolled cigars.
Yeah.
But I haven't ran into that here in Georgia. Now I haven't been to all the cigar lounges here.
Yes.
But the popular ones that I've gone to, I haven't seen hand rolled cigars. So I definitely said, oh, I gotta have you on to see, number one, what got you into cigars, but then what got you into wanting to learn the art of rolling cigars.
Gotcha. So I love history, and it only takes a little, as your grandma used to say, a mustard seed to grow into something. So when he introduced me to cigars, it just made me become more inquisitive. Okay. You know, curiosity kills the cat, as they say. So I became more inquisitive. Actually, while I was there, I went to the cigar factory that's located, you know, there's one on Bourbon Street and there's one on Decatur Street.
Okay.
So at the time, there was a black guy that owned it. His name was Al. And I went in and just started talking to him and just, you know, getting more information about the culture itself. So year after year, when I would come to the Essence Festival, I would always, you know, let him know I was coming. So one particular year when I came down, he took me to the back. And in the back is literally where leaves were being dried.
Oh, really?
Yes. A lot of people don't know that because when they go into the factory, you just see like the cigar rollers that are there rolling, and you may go into the humidor, and then you have the cashier, and that's it. But there's a door, and the door he actually was drying and fermenting his leaves. Wow, okay. So I remember walking in there, and when we opened the door, I was like, because, you know, when you're fermenting leaves, it's a very strong nicotine smell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And literally from there, it was a rabbit hole I went down. And I just appreciated the opportunity that he gave me because he recognized my curiosity, and showing me, you know, the beginning steps of how a cigar is made and the processes and things of that nature. Okay. So from there, I just did a lot of research. And then I formed my own business. It's a long, drawn-out story. We might not even have that much time for this.
We got so much time because that's what I was about to. It's like, so right then and there, you was hooked, and then you decided to go into a business.
Yeah. So again, I'm a history person, and when something catches my eye, then I have to go into it, dig deeper. So the more I dug into, you know, the culture itself and learning what it was about, what it takes to actually roll the cigars, who were the first people to have created it. You know, I read some literature on Christopher Columbus.
Yes, we have that book.
You know, they say he discovered everything, but said that he discovered it in Cuba in 1842. But, you know, I'm thinking like, you what you did is you walked upon somebody else already smoking it, which is the indigenous people, which is our Indians. Yeah. So it wasn't that you discovered it. It's just that when it was notated, right? Because before it was not.
And if I can remember, the way they smoked it was fatter. Like they had like some big rolls that they was smoking.
Yeah. So it goes back centuries, you know. And so bringing it back up to me. Brings it back up to, you know, women in cigars. So what got me involved, I created my own business in 2015. Reason being is because I felt it being fun. I felt it being something that I just wanted to embark upon. It looked easy. And I'm a people person. I've been in events and peopling since I was in high school, basically. Which wasn't that long ago that I graduated, mind you, right? Right. Yeah. And we're embarking upon 30 years this year, that I graduated from high school. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. So formed it in 2015. I was a cigar concierge at the time. My business name was Nico's Smokers Concierge. Okay. And it being my first derivative of my name. So what got me into cigar rolling, I had a client that I had procured, because I come from a hospitality management background. So there was a client that I had procured. It was a Porsche client. And she told me that her husband was into cigars and into bourbon. And every year he had a bourbon and cigar gathering for his comrades. So this is 2019. Never forget it. And she asked me, she said, well, this year he wanted to have a cigar roller. And I was like, I don't roll right now. So she's like, well, yeah, he really wants a roller. She just don't want a cigar concierge. So I was like, okay. So I called some people that I knew that was in the industry, that I knew they had some rollers. And I said, hey, I have this piece of business. And can you give me some information regarding, where you get your rollers from? And very vividly, I remember this person being quiet. And he said to me, no.
Whoa.
No. I got it how I got it. You get it how you get it.
Wow.
Wow, right?
This is a person that you knew?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it took me aback, right? It took me aback. Yeah. But it wasn't a bad aback. It was a feeling of got it. I got you. So unfortunately, I had to call her and say, hey, unfortunately, I can't be the cigar roller for you this year. I'm going to have to pass your business on to someone else. That was the unfortunate part.
Uh-huh.
The fortunate part was she said, okay, Nico, I'm going to give you a year because my husband does this every year. I'm going to give you a year, and next year I want you to be ready.
Okay.
Got it, right? So fortunately and unfortunately, the next year was COVID, which was 2020.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, the world was shut down.
Uh-huh.
The world, but Atlanta. Atlanta was open. I'm sorry. Anyway. Right. So the world was shut down, and they did not come back around to being more comfortable having their yearly event until 2022. Okay. So she called me back in 2022 and she said, are you ready? And I said, yes. And ever since then, I have been not only their cigar concierge, but their exclusive cigar roller. So I took that time to really ingratiate myself, learn the craft, become more educated in it, and basically just immerse myself into the culture. So a lot of people always ask me, how did I come about it? So that's the initial story as far as how I came about actually the rolling piece. Uh-huh. As far as the education of me becoming a cigar roller, I've traveled. I've gone to LA, to Cigar Rolling Academy. I've gone to Dominican Republic a couple of times, which I love going to. And I've developed some really, really great relationships with the factories down there. I have a friend of mine that's here local in Atlanta. He's a cigar roller as well, O2 Cigars. I remember sitting down with him and him showing me some techniques. So it's a craft like teaching, or it's a craft like doing hair, or it's a craft like working on cars. You always have to make sure that you hone in on your craft and make sure you're continuing education, right, to do it, because it takes years to become a master cigar roller. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm doing. That's how I came about.
So the thing that fascinated me the most by you telling that story is that you got one whiff of the fermentation room, mm-hmm, and you all of a sudden said, you know what, let me start a business.
Yes.
In this. Now, have you had businesses before that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. What was the other ones?
Oh, all kind of businesses. I was a realtor. I was a manicurist. I've been a massage therapist.
Okay.
I've done a lot. I've been in my corporate career has been in hospitality management, property management. So
okay,
yeah.
Because that's the one thing that I was just like, wait a minute, hold on. If she's never had a business before, she just went
cold turkey. No, yeah. I've had businesses before.
But no, I was going to commend you on that, because like that's something that people rarely don't do. Is that something that they just, I like the art of this, and let me just go into the business of it like right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way, like as young kids, that's what we do. We just jump head first, or feet first into the water, and just don't even think about I could say the consequences of it. We just go ahead and do it.
Well, if you think about it, I'm not sure how young you are.
47.
Okay, 47. We're the same age. I'm barking upon 50.
Yeah.
But as you know, back in the 70s when we grew up, our parents and grandparents, they were all about being on a job, staying, retiring, and you just stay where you are. And it's not to say that they did not know about entrepreneurship, because there are a lot of African Americans that were entrepreneurs. It's just that, based on that time and that era, it was just get a job, stay in it, retire, and that's it. As we embarked upon, the 2000s, entrepreneurship became more prevalent.
Right.
So for me, I've always had an entrepreneur spirit.
Okay.
Being young,
Mm-hmm.
and I always knew I did embark upon that, going to school, getting a degree, getting into a career, but I always had that entrepreneur mindset, and I just had to figure out what it is that I was passionate about.
Well, was it not wanting to work for someone else, or it was just something that just like a mechanism that just clicked every time? Or
Both.
yeah,
It was
okay.
both. And it wasn't that I did not mind working for someone else, but you have to think about it. You are growing somebody else's dream.
Right.
And then you retire at the age, at that time, was it 62, 65? And back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, when our parents were retiring, the cost of living was economically okay.
Right.
We're in 2025, where I can remember, when I got my first house, the rent was $300. Now a house is $3,000 if
Right.
you're trying to rent
Yeah.
it. So the times have changed, and with so much that's going on in the world, looking at the economic era that we're in right now, the government shutdown, and everyone that's being laid off their jobs, I just wanted to make sure, and I've been laid off my job a couple of times as well. I just wanted to make sure that I put myself in a position where I would not be without income anymore.
Right. Having that skill set to be
Yeah,
able to,
absolutely.
because going back to what you're saying about grandparents, I mean, they didn't even have a word for it. It wasn't like, they didn't say entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. It was, you got your side hustles.
Side hustle.
You got your side hustle on, and then you know, the candy lady, she sold candy or whatever the case may be.
Bebop lady.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all it was. But it wasn't something that they were just like, well, I'm gonna build. Like how we think now is like, I'm gonna build a really sustainable business that's gonna be this possibly big corporation, later on down the line. It was just like, nah, this is what I do just to make some extra money.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
But you have to think about it then, but you didn't really have anyone that was pushing you to say that it was possible.
Right.
And I tell my daughter that all the time, because she has the same entrepreneur spirit. And but sometimes the economy or society makes you afraid to try to step out.
Right.
But like I've told her, like I've told myself, like I've told plenty of other people, Amazon wasn't Amazon until Amazon became Amazon. Right. Apple wasn't Apple until Apple became Apple. Mm-hmm. So you have to start from somewhere in order to grow into the conglomerate that these particular companies are today.
And there's something that I just recently learned, was that the reason why we was in this, and I was listening to Myron Golden, is where I got this from. He's a motivational speaker, and he teaches how to sell and stuff online. And he was just going down the history of, what was he going at? Because I know I'm going to screw this up. Basically, how the industries over the several decades have basically trained society to do certain stuff. So
yes.
In hindsight, he was just like, between the era of, let's just say, the 80s and up to the 90s, they basically trained us. They like, major corporations invested money into education to train people to always work for someone else.
Exactly.
And so that's where we get the whole thing about going to school, get your,
mm-hmm.
So you can learn to work for someone else. And it wasn't until the internet, social media, and everything, the new technology now, that is where we're now breaking out of that mindset to where now we have the ability for the first time in history where anybody can go out there and learn how to make money for themselves.
Right.
And not just money, but you can become a millionaire.
Yeah, you can.
And
a lot of entrepreneurs were birthed during COVID. If you think about it,
right?
A lot of people were birthed during COVID. Yeah. And I use births loosely, and I mean that it was something that was always in the back of their minds. But this particular era gave them the opportunity to bring it forth. Mm-hmm. I don't know. COVID was a very bad time for the entire world. Mm-hmm. For me, it was a reset. And I know for a lot of people, it may have been a reset, but it was a reset to say, okay, you have this time off that you'll probably never get again. Who's going to get 30 days, 60 days, 4 months off of a work, and still get paid for it? Probably is never going to happen again in our lifetime.
Right.
So for me, I just made sure that I utilized that time greatly and made sure that I honed in on what I wanted to do.
Now, were you working for yourself during that time, or do you?
So I've been in business. This is my 10th year.
Okay.
But over the last couple of years is when it really started to gain visibility, and the reason being is because I always put somebody else first. I was in corporate America, and I put that company first, and I put me second.
Gotcha.
And then if something should have happened where there were layoffs or things of that nature, then I'm trying to pick up where I left off and trying to build a momentum again. And I just got to the point where I'm not going to do it anymore.
Gotcha.
It's
So you was just starting to put yourself in a position to start this business up, and then COVID happened.
No. So I've been in business since 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is my 10th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what I mean by during COVID, it gave me an opportunity to kind of hone in on it,
Okay.
to pivot, to focus on it more so. Because before I was just in corporate America, doing what the 9 to 5 needed me to do. And then this was coming second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So now that so how's it going now? Well, let's go back because I want to unpack that one when you tell you in the beginning where you was asking for a roller and he basically said, "Nah, I ain't giving you no information." So has there been any pushback from a young black woman trying to get into this space of the men's club of cigars?
For me, no.
Okay.
And I know that the cigar industry is a male-dominated industry, still is. But as you know now in this day and age, there are a lot of women that are more immersed into the culture. So when I initially got started, I didn't jump out on a scene trying to say it. I miss it. I slowly started, making connections and networking, and just building rapport with different people around the community, around the culture. And eventually, it grew into what it is today.
So the two cigars that you started off with, so what are the ones that you love smoking the most? Like what notes do you like?
So it's all about the blend to me. So my particular blend is a boutique blend. It's a Dominican and Nicaraguan blend.
Okay.
Connecticut shade, Connecticut broadleaf is my mild, as far as the wrapper is concerned. Sumatra is for my medium, and a Nicaraguan Maduro is for the full body.
Okay.
So I've had an opportunity smoking for 25 years to smoke some of everything. There have been some great cigars that are very reputable. Just wasn't for my palate.
Right.
And there have been some cigars that may not be for your palate, but I absolutely love. Like this being one of them. It's probably one of Jew Estate's best sellers. And so crazy because it is kind of like an infused cigar without it necessarily being infused. Isla de Sol. But it's one of the ones that I started off with. So it's almost like drinking for the first time or having your first cup of coffee. It's something that you'll never forget. And I love it. So yeah, I those are just something that I go back to. And
yeah, you go ahead.
And as far as the Opus X, again, it being totally different from the Isla de Sol, it was a great smoke to me. It was a great smoke. It had longevity. It was well constructed. It wasn't necessarily infused, but it wasn't harsh. It wasn't peppery. So some of those are the things that personally I don't like. I don't like peppery cigars. I don't like naturey. I like more creamy, smooth cigars. So this kind of puts me in the line of that.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Like I started off with same thing. Like I was just my cousin got me into smoking cigars. He smoked cigarettes, but we went out on a trip one day and went on a fishing trip, and he just had like a bag of cigars and just gave me one of them to smoke for the first time. And
do you remember what you smoked?
No, because he just gave me a cigar, and I was just like, okay, I'll give it a shot because I never smoked anything ever.
Gotcha.
And so,
unlike me, right?
Yeah,
because I was looking out for my vision.
Right. And so I just tried it, and it was just a regular cigar, and I was just like, oh, okay, it's cool, it's nice. I don't even think I even finished it, but yeah. So I stumbled upon the Gurkha Tabak.
Okay.
And I was just like, wait a minute, this smell like coffee, and I bought it, smoked it. I was like, oh, this tastes like coffee. I'm like, they do that? And so the owner just showed me like all these infused flavors and stuff like that, and I ended up getting the vanilla and the cherry redhead. I think that's what it was.
Gotcha.
And those became the ones that I started off with.
Got you.
And then of course they introduced you to the acid. And I tasted the acid. And I'm like, oh, okay, I like that too. And that got me on my
Your
smoking journey of but I only did it every now and then. It wasn't even, it's kind of like how I do with when I drink. I don't drink all the time.
Got you.
I drink occasionally when I'm out and about, when I'm socially with friends and stuff like that, but I don't drink at home or anything like that.
Got you.
But what really caught me, going back to the cigar story, me and my wife went to go visit her cousin in Miami, and we went, I want to think Lincoln Square, but she told him that I like cigars, even though I wasn't really smoking cigars that much.
Got you. So now, was it a roller that was just on the street rolling?
No, this was actually a cigar lounge. Like, he was just... Anthony is the mayor of Miami. When you visit him, he's going to take you around every place in Miami. He just loves showing off the spot. He's that person.
Got you.
And so since he's like, oh, I know a great cigar spot we can go to because we're going down to South Beach. There's a spot down there, and I'll show you. And it was a small little shop, probably like the size of this. And I bought me a cigar, and it was an acid.
Got you.
And what hooked me on cigars was not the cigar. What hooked me on the cigars was, it was me, my wife, her sister, her niece, and the cousin. They was all smoking hookah. And I had my cigar, and it was 10:30 at night. It was a nice 75, 77 degrees outside.
Good weather.
Yeah.
From Miami, especially.
Yes. and I had a rum and Coke.
Okay.
And while they was laughing, talking, this and that, so on and so forth, I was just sitting back with my rum and Coke and my cigar, and I was just looking up at the stars, and I was like, this is the feeling that I want every single time I smoke a cigar.
Yes.
And that's how it is for me every time I smoke a cigar.
Got you.
And so now when I go home at the end of the week, or if it's a time where I'm not doing anything, where I just sit back and relax, that's the moment that I recreate every time I smoke a cigar.
Got you.
I have a drink, and I have my cigar, and I just sit back and I just relax.
Yeah. And it brings a sense of calmness, right, like you just described, a sense of relaxation. So I totally agree with you and totally understand.
And then I realized that it's not of course I don't smoke weed or anything, but I just noticed where when it comes to smoking weed, it forces you to relax and pay attention and take time.
Absolutely.
Not just to smoke, but time for yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's not a rush smoke kind of thing like a cigarette. You're rushing to smoke to get the nicotine high. Weed, you're not rushing to smoke it, but it's so teeny tiny. You're just trying to get that hit. Like you're trying to, and with cigars, it's just kind of like, nah, this is just
smooth
leisure.
Sailing. Yes.
Like I'm leisurely relaxing.
Yes. And it gives you an opportunity to, whether you're by yourself or whether you're with someone that, another person, or just in a room full of people, it's a talking point.
Yes.
And not necessarily to talk about cigars itself, but it gives you, it's like a unity, like when you go to the barbershop or when you're in the beauty shop, it gives you something to talk about. It gives you that relaxation.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I realized when I started working here was, I met a lot of professional people here. And just like you said, we rarely talk about the cigars we're smoking. Right. It may be a starting point, but for the most part, it becomes this thing where I'm interested in who the person is, because we're in a situation where we're sitting down to take our time to do something. Yeah. And so we just start having a conversation with each other. Yeah. And so when I had the idea to do the podcast, I was like, that's all I want this podcast to be. Like I've seen podcasts and I've seen cigar shows on YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah. And for the most part, I've just seen tutorials.
Got you.
How to smoke a cigar, how to light a cigar, how to cut a cigar.
It's so much.
The different, the different wrappers and the blends and this has the right note of this and so on and so forth. And I was just like, all that is great.
Yes.
But there's so much more to the cigar social culture that is not being recognized. Right. And that is the business professional. That is the individual person who decides to start smoking and what is their story. Right. And my thing was always the interest of the person smoking, not what they're smoking.
Right.
And so that's why that is what brought me in. Also, the second layer of cigars is that all these interesting people, you know what I mean? Like yourself, you know what I mean? Like when you think of cigars, people think of, you know, for lack of better description, you know, old fat white men that just sit back with the Boss Hog long cigars. And that's what people think about, the stinky, smelly cigars.
But here's the thing, like I've heard someone talk about most recently, actually, that it's becoming a new fad in the African American community.
That's what I was just about to get to.
But it's not. If you are a history person like I am, and you go back and you think about, let's even start with sports. Every time a basketball championship was won, what were they doing?
Smoking cigars.
Smoking cigars. Mm-hmm. When the NFL wins a championship, what are they doing? They're smoking cigars. So it just did not start. Mm-hmm. It's just that people are now starting to notice, you know?
And it has become a very social and fashionable thing within the culture also.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing that surprised me the most was the amount of women that I've come across.
Well, you want to know why?
Yeah.
It's not that, and this is just my opinion, everyone has it. You know, for a woman, and it goes back into the era of even the women working in labor. You know, back in the day when our grandparents were working, your grandfather, my grandfather, great-grandfather, it was the men that were out in the field, out in the world working, and the women, you know, temporarily were at home working inside of the house. So it was being in a woman's place that we were groomed to be like. Uh-huh. So it was very facetious to see a woman out smoking.
Right.
Some men, it has definitely changed the day and age that we're in now, but some men didn't think it was beautiful for a woman to smoke.
Right.
So therefore, it's not to say that she did not want to. It is not to say that she did not. She just did not do it in public.
Right.
Because it was not a good thing to see a woman smoke. Now we're in the 2000s and women are more feminist. Uh-huh. And we have a say so of what we're doing and what we do with ourselves and what we do with our bodies. And if we want to sit and smoke a cigar, you know, this day and age, that's what we're doing.
I see a lot more doing the hookah because it smells sweet and stuff like that, you know, so they gravitate towards that a lot more. But then when I start seeing more and more women smoking cigars, I always ask, every time I see a woman smoking cigars, like, so,
what got you into it?
Yeah, what got you into it? And a lot of them say, you know, my grandfather or my dad or somebody like that, you know, I should see them do it. So I'm just like, let me try it.
And have you ever smelled tobacco, like gone into a tobacco
store? No, that's why when you said that.
It is a beautiful smell. It smells really, really good. Mm-hmm. So it's something that you'll never forget, you know. Mm-hmm. I grew up around smokers. My aunts and everyone smoked, right? Mm-hmm. And what prevented me from necessarily becoming like a cigarette smoker is my aunt. I don't know if this happened in your family, but my aunt had me to go and light one of her cigars on the stove.
Or cigars?
No, I'm sorry. Cigarette on the stove. And I called myself being smart and was going to pull off on it and almost choked, right? And I knew from then, I was like, oh yeah, smoking is not for me.
All the smoke just... I remember the first time my cousin tried to get me, not the same one, but we was younger, mm-hmm. to try a cigarette. All I can remember is just all that dry smoke inhaling into my mouth and my lungs. I was like, who the hell want to do that?
Right.
No, take that. Yeah. I don't want to do with that stuff right
there. But it's about education because, again, when I embarked upon that cigar lounge, he just didn't have me to buy a cigar and set me down. I don't know why he gravitated toward me because I'm very inquisitive when it comes to things. And he basically told me how to smoke a cigar. It's, you know, it's different than smoking a cigarette. It's different than smoking marijuana. Mm-hmm. And I have to tell people that. So when I used to work in a lounge and I say, hey, are you a smoker? And they were like, no, but I smoke weed. It's different. Yeah. You can't inhale cigars. Mm-hmm. You can retrohale it, but that comes with time and learning how to do it. Right. But if you do it and you're a novice, you're gonna die.
And you know what? It's funny when you give a cigar to somebody who's been smoking weed or cigarettes for a long time,
right?
And see that thing in their mind of how they have to retrain themselves of how to do it, like right there in the spot, and they're just like, wait, what do you mean that I can't inhale it? It's like, no, you don't inhale it in your lungs. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to taste it.
Right.
And it's always funny to me when I see someone, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
But the the prestige of the art of smoking a cigar
Absolutely.
is so different from everything else.
For sure.
That's the thing
it's very artistic.
Yeah.
It's very sexy, even for men and women alike.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, there are three parts to a cigar. I know that when I looked at the interview that you did with Phil, he's absolutely right. It depends on the composition of a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
When you first start with the first half, it tastes a different way. When you get to the second third, it could be a taste a different way. When you get to the last third, it could taste differently. Mm-hmm. So being a cigar roller is important for your composition. And then number two, as far as your blend, that's very important as well.
Yeah.
Again, there are a lot of cigars out here that are very, very reputable, and people go to them because they are very prestige, and they may taste good to them, but to somebody like myself and you, it may not. So It just depends on what you train your palate to be, and what you train your palate to like.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm glad you had said that when the guy was asking, like, well, what is it that you like to eat? What is it that you like to drink? And
because it's important.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize that you really already train yourself to what you already like.
Right.
Like, as far as like your palate.
Yes.
So when you get into cigar smoking, it's like, well, the easy, because matter of fact, I was just telling this guy this last night at the store. I was like, well, and this wasn't something that somebody told me. This was just something that just learning. I was just like, well, if it's all about the notes and what you taste and stuff, like, you've already da. So I just started telling people, like, well, what do you like to eat already?
Right.
You've already trained yourself.
Right.
So just, if you go and you read up the notes of certain cigars, then just go with the stuff that you already like to eat and drink, and then that'll be a little bit more easier for you to get into it that way. I mean, you are smoking tobacco, but at the same time, when you have certain notes and things you want to taste, like if you like something spicy and peppery or something like that, well, we have cigars that have that in there.
Exactly.
Me, I like sweets. Right. So I'm going to gravitate towards something sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
infused
sweet, yes. Versus the natural sweet.
Right, right.
I've said this on the show before. I am not a cigar aficionado. I am not a sommelier. I just have the cigars that I like to smoke. So when I say the cigarist, I'm meaning that I like to have a conversation with people over cigars. So I'm still learning myself,
as too many are.
Yeah, and we keep learning it. You know what I mean?
And that's the art of it. You know, it can never get old. It's been around for centuries, and it's going to be around when you and I close our eyes.
Right.
But it's just something that will never go away because it's natural. You know.
Right. So what is your talking point when you? Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you this question. So, for the women, right? Mm-hmm. They see you smoking a cigar. They may be smoking hookah or whatever the case may be, and they get interested. Like, why are you smoking that thing?
Listen, I never belittle anybody because everyone has to start from somewhere.
Right.
From the person that still smoke blacks. If that's your preference, that's your preference. You know, you may not never graduate into smoking hookah. You may not ever graduate into smoking a cigar. But and it's not even to say that, you know, cigar smoking is the new thing to do per se. But it's just something that you and I have gravitated into doing, you know. And you just have to figure out what's best for you and what you like and what you dislike. And just go from there. Not worry about, you know, what the next person is thinking or anything like that. So
do you encourage, well, not encourage, but when women like come to you and be like, hey,
I always ask.
Okay.
I always ask the questions. And the questions just like they were posed to me. And if they inform me that they have not smoked before, but they want to try, then I will recommend something lighter, something infused, because I don't want to hit them with harshness. I have a lot of people. In fact, a gentleman that I met at a golf tournament that I was at on Friday, he told me that his first smoke was very harsh, and that's all he remembers, and it deterred him from ever wanting to smoke again. And I hate that because it's a beautiful thing, and it was that he wasn't educated on how to smoke a cigar.
Somebody just gave him a cigar and said, here, smoke this, and he didn't know how to smoke
it. And now and it's not to say that he probably won't try again. It's probably just going to take someone that makes him feel comfortable and easy to do it. But you know, it takes that.
I didn't even know you can get a cigar hangover.
Yeah.
When you have
I
like a
mean,
very strong cigar and you're not
please
used to smoking a cigar. I was just
listen.
like, wow.
Just like I just told you when I walked into that room, it's when you're fermenting the leaves, all the nicotine is basically being drawn out per se, and it's very strong. It's very strong. So the makeup of your cigar, you have three parts. You have your filler, your binder, and your wrapper, and they all the leaves go through a process. If you have not had an opportunity, please take a chance. If you have, I should ask you, have you ever gone to a cigar factory before?
No. Well, I have. I
Okay.
have.
Okay.
I forgot what the farm was, but Dominican Republic. We had went there. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I've had the opportunity to go to a couple of cigars. So I'm going to do a shout out really quickly. Most recently, I made a really great, have a really great relationship and rapport with Tabacalera de Garcia. His name is Pedro. And he works for Tabacalera, and they are the parent over like Monte Cristo and Romero and Juliet. They told me how to pronounce it correctly. We call it Romeo and Juliet,
Yeah.
but they pronounce it Romero y Julieta because it's Spanish, right? If you think about it.
That's another thing that gets you too.
So I've had the opportunity to go, most recently in August, to go to the cigar factory. And like I said, I'm always the person that wants to continue the education. So I took it upon myself to go down, to sit with master cigar rollers, to hone in on the skill, and to go through the factory. And it's very fascinating and it's very educational. And if you have not had the opportunity to do so, I would definitely tell you to do it. One of the great ways of doing it, there's a cigar festival that comes around every year. It's called Pro Cigar, and it's February of every year, and it's located in Santiago, Dominican Republic.
Okay.
It's a huge festival. You get the opportunity to tour multiple farms. I went to LFD, La Aurora. I went to General Cigars. I went to Monte Cristo, which was Tabacalera. I went to so many. It was so many down there. So you have the chance when you go for this festival, for an entire day, you get to go to this particular farm and you get to go inside the factories, and they literally take you in and show you from how the leaves are grown, how the leaves are dried, go inside of the factories, how they're separated, how they roll them, how they package them. I mean, literally from the beginning to the end. And once you do that, you'll never go back. You never go back. So if you had not had the opportunity, I would urge you to look up Pro Cigar. Again, it's every February. It's a great festival. I did not go. I went in 2024. It was my first time going.
Okay.
It was an incredible experience. I'll plan on going back in 2026.
Okay.
Just to see what the new things are that are out there, and just building more relationships. So
do they have going back into the continues to keep educating, do they have like advancements in the art form or anything like that, or just kind of like, hey, this is the traditional way, we're gonna stick to traditional?
As far as the cigar factories themselves?
Yeah, cigar rolling, cigar like industries.
Great question. Question. So I asked that question when I was down there this past August. And what he shared with me is that the master cigar rollers go through a series of training. So it's not that, he or she has grown up in the industry and now they're considered a master cigar roller. No, they go through trainings. And it's not like a couple of months either. It's like a couple of years, and they go through practical tests to make sure that they have basically have it honed in. And once they pass this test, then they are considered a master cigar roller. However, they have a multitude of cigar rollers that are there, but in order to become your master cigar roller, there's a process that you go through. So when I went to the cigar factory, a lot of people think, and I actually got this information from there is a cigar roller that I met here in the States. His name is Gabe, and he gifted me my first mold, wooden mold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I still have it to this day. And he said, Nico, a lot of people get it wrong. They think that the cigar rollers are men. He said, I learned from a woman. Did you know that?
When we went to, it's something, I want to say something ranch, El Rancho or something like that. That was the farm we went to in Dominican Republic. And all of the cigar rollers were
We're
women.
women.
Yeah. I
Yes.
think I seen maybe like one or two guys,
Yes.
but for the most part, it was,
Yes.
women.
Reason being is because our fingers are smaller
Mm-hmm.
and they're more precise. It was one of the things they were letting me know, and more oriented to roll it smoother.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this day and age, there are machines that can do it as well, but there's nothing like a good hand rolled cigar. And literally, when I was in this factory, there were a ton of women, and that's what they were doing. They had different roles. So the roll where they were actually rolling a cigar was beautiful because you literally saw them doing it. And it goes through a process because again, there are three parts of the cigar. You have your filler, your binder, and your wrapper. So I literally had the opportunity to watch them go through the entire process from building it, putting it in the mold, then it sit about 45 minutes, rotating it, and then from that step, wrapping it. They inspect it, make sure that, it's wrapped really well, make sure the length is correct. Then they send it down the line and they do something else with it. So it's definitely a
Another
process.
thing that I heard, and let me know if it's true or not, they said another reason why women rollers are better at it is because they can see shades of color better.
Absolutely. That's one of the things. Yeah, that's one
Okay.
of the things. Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I
There's
didn't
so
even
many
think
different
about that when
caveats.
when they said that. I was like, when you have a pack of them, all of them have the same shade.
Not so much. Because the way that they're grown, as far as the stalks are concerned and how they're dried, they come out differently. There's never going to be a leaf that's the same. There's never going to be a stalk that's the same. Some of it may not even dry the same. The processes are the same, but they're going to come out different. It's just to say, like, say, for instance, if you have a twin. Yes, you may be a twin, but there are some differences about you.
Right.
So with women, they do have the caveats to basically see things differently, but it's just the way that the world has had women. Women have always been on the inside and the men have been on the outside.
Right.
So,
Right. Oh,
yeah.
okay. That's pretty cool. So with your business, what has been the journey trying to get that going, good and bad?
It's just a continuing education for me. It's just not a fad. I know that you asked me about, had I been in business before, and I have had some business before, but for me, it's all about finding something that you're passionate about. And it's not to say that I was not passionate about the previous roles that I had in entrepreneurship, but this is something that it makes me happy.
Okay.
And a lot of times, when people see me roll and they're really watching me, and they were like, I can see that you enjoy that.
Okay.
Is it like therapeutic for you? And when I thought about it, I was like, it is. You know how some people may draw,
Right.
or some people may knit sweaters or whatever. It's very therapeutic. And for me, that's my drawing mechanism. That is my sewing mechanism. It's something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy smoking it. And yeah, that's it.
What is your I had you had said something a little while ago, and I was like, let me try to remember to ask that question, but then it escapes me as soon as you're trying to remember it. But so for your business, is it hard to get it out there? It's a different, like, do you have it in different stores? Do you deal with the
Great
distribution?
question.
Yeah.
Great question. So for me, I am not necessarily trying to do a cigar line.
Oh, really?
No. So I'm not going to the cigar bank trying to put my cigars inside of your lounge. For me, it's more for enhancement of your events or for the entertainment purposes. So you would hire me, say for instance, just like you mentioned before, you wanted to do a cigar rolling event.
Yeah.
So I would be a person that you will hire.
Uh-huh.
I'm not necessarily trying to put my line inside of your lounge.
Okay.
So I do a lot of golf tournaments. I do a lot of corporate events, social events. I've done some cigar rolling classes, which I'm going to incorporate more coming in the new year, where they can be consecutive. So yeah.
So why not try to have a cigar, like a rolling cigar line?
I just don't want to do it. It's just
Really?
that simple. I've been in sales all my life, and I'm not trying to go and sell my cigars to lounges, trying to be a part of, and it's not a bad thing but like, say for instance, when I went into your humidor, if I didn't know particularly what I was looking for, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to try to figure out, okay, what do I want to smoke today, or what should I smoke? I just don't want to be a part of that. I just want to be a part of I want to do something different for my lounge. I want to do something different for my event, my corporate event.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have something different at my golf tournament.
And this is what the clients are
Yes.
telling you. Okay.
Yes. So it's
how
an
do you,
enhancement.
So how do you go about, like, if somebody want to hire you for their event? Because I remember I had the Art of Smoke guys on here last week.
Got you.
And one of the questions I asked them is, because it's three of them, but two of the guys was able to come on, and I was just like, so when you go about trying to figure out what kind of blends and flavors and stuff like that you want to actually put together to sell for your brand,
Yes.
like going out there into the market, how do you know what to put together? Like, how do you know, like, okay, we're going to have something spicy and sweet or bold, and that, like, how do you know that is going to sell, or like if the market is asking for that?
So my blend is my blend. There's is not an alternative to it. It's a Dominican and Nicaraguan blend, and I tell you what the wrappers were. So I have a lot of people that are, aficionados, and they may smoke ligas, or they may smoke Plencias, they may smoke this, they may smoke that. When they come to my table, I have what I have. So they share with me, well, this is what I'm used to smoking. And because I'm immersed into the cigar culture, and I typically know what the makeup of the blend is of that particular cigar, then I can educatedly recommend them. Oh, since you smoke a Liga, then I would recommend you to do the medium. And here are the notes of the medium, or here are the notes of the bold. And once they smoke it, it's like, this is a good cigar.
Yeah.
So it's all about education.
Right.
It's all about education.
So do you have, like, so everything is hand rolled?
Yes.
Are you like, well, let me go ahead and try to prepare something for this, or do you have stuff already set up, ready for the event?
Well, it depends on the event. So I have some events that may only order 25 cigars. I have some events that may order 1,000 cigars. So typically we do hours of two-hour increments starting. So depending on how long the event is going to be, how long they've hired me to actually roll cigars, I always make sure I do some pre-rolls first.
Yeah.
But then I make sure that I'm rolling on site as well, because
so you're just doing everything on.
Yes.
Like, well, just like I saw at the golf tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what you hired me for.
And they're ready to smoke right then and there?
So it depends on the weather. It's so many different caveats to it. When we were out at the country club, I think that particular day was pretty warm, wasn't it? I think it was. So, and it depends on the moisture of your leaves. So there's some times when I can roll a cigar and you give it about 20 minutes, it's ready to roll, it's ready to smoke.
That's interesting, because I always heard that, a hand rolled cigar have to wait like several weeks or several months before it is ready to smoke.
So when you're doing events as such, you always have to be prepared. There are some events where there are some cigar rollers that will roll it from scratch, meaning they'll bind it right there. So when you're binding it, meaning doing the filler, the binder, and then the wrapper, that will take time. And a lot of times at events, time is of essence.
Right.
So therefore, what you need to do, for what I've learned how to do, and what other fellow cigar rollers that I know of in the industry does, if they're going to roll on the spot, they're going to bring their molds, meaning the binder has already been binded, and the only last part of it is putting the wrapper on.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you were to do it from scratch, you'll be there all night.
That's and now that you say all that, that's what I was. That's what came to mind. I was just like, no, you was actually selling the pre-roll stuff, right then and there, and I was just like, wait a minute, I thought you were supposed to wait so many weeks for it to.
So with the binding, it only takes about 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And that's why it's important to go and sit, if this is an industry that you're trying to get into as far as cigar rolling. That's why it's important to go sit in Cuba or Nicaragua or Dominican Republic with actual people that do this on a daily basis, 364 days a year, because I'm sure there's one day that they're off, right?
All right.
So you can see the process. So when I initially started, I was educated on you bind, sit in the mold, let it sit for 45 minutes, rotate it, let it sit another 45 minutes. Okay, that's over an hour, right? And then once you're done with that, then you can put your wrap on. Then you have to wait and make sure that dries, and that could take another 30 minutes. You're almost 2 hours in. If you're at an event, people are wanting to come watch you roll really quickly, go ahead and smoke, and then commence to doing what they're doing.
Right.
So for event purposes, no, it would take too long. Most recently, when I went to an actual cigar factory in Dominican Republic, as I mentioned, they informed me that their process is 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it's 45 minutes.
So you never have any pressures of, oh my God, I gotta hurry and put these together for the event, right? Like,
you always be prepared. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You always be
okay.
prepared. My clients, whether they're repeat clients or new clients that are coming about, I always educate them on the process, especially if they don't know, and what to expect. And once you educate your clients, then they're pretty much good to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you're not looking to put your cigars in stores, everything is hand rolled, and you have your special blends and stuff like that. So what's the future of your business, your company? Like, are you trying to get to that $1 million legendary, like?
Who doesn't want to be a millionaire?
No, I mean, 'cause I don't know, but I would think that most people is like, hey,
Just in the process of how to get there, basically.
well, I mean, everything is hand rolled, right?
Yeah.
So you want to keep it in that.
The integrity of it.
Yeah, the integrity of that. So
Right.
is it like no, you're gonna do a franchise where your company, like, no, you have to be master hand rollers to buy into my franchise or anything like that, or
Who
like?
knows?
Really?
Who knows? Perhaps.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps. Right now, I am training my brother how to do it, because the business has become more visible, and by becoming more visible, I have more people that are inquiring and hiring us to do it. So I'm only one person, so I can't be in two places at one time.
Right.
And which I didn't get an opportunity to mention, but I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama, so I go back and forth home between here and home a lot. So I have a lot of business in Alabama as well. So therefore, there is going to come a time where I am busy and I am going to have to train more people to do what I do, because I can't be everywhere at one time.
And your business is basically, like you said, entertainment. So it's mostly based off of events and things like that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And education. So you would think and it's a hospitality based business. So it's based off of almost disposable income when you think about events. So there probably is going to come a time where there are going to be ebbs and flows of the business, slow seasons. So it's just a matter of making sure you have a marketing plan that basically puts you in a position where you'll constantly have some business going. So for me, this has been a very great year for me. And I've done a lot as far as in the summer months, a lot of golf tournaments and things of that nature, outdoor events. So now we're getting into the fall and the colder months. So you think, oh, there are not going to be a lot of people they're going to be outdoors. But if you think about it, it's football season.
Right. Yeah.
There are a lot of holiday parties that are going to come up for Christmas and for the New Year. And then once the New Year rolls in, you're back into basketball season, to March Madness, to golf season. So it can be a constant rotation. It's just a matter of making sure you're staying visible, making sure that when you produce a product, it's a great product and it's memorable. Right. Because the worst thing you could do is, for me in my business, is to compose a cigar and it's nasty or it came loose, and your first impression is everything. Right. And if someone gets a cigar and they remember, oh, that this cigar didn't taste good, or it unraveled, or whatever the case may be, then they're not likely going to contact you again. So it's very important to me that I produce a great product so I can get those calls back, or I can get those referrals.
So are you fermentating? Is that the right word? Fermentating the leaves yourself, and you have
I'm not. So my tobacco license is just a retailer tobacco license. There are different stages of licenses that you can get. You can get a manufacturing license and you can get a distributor license. Okay. For me, I'm not trying to be a manufacturer or distributor. Okay. So therefore I source my leaves.
Okay, yeah. So you just get it in, and then roll it in.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. So do you tell them, like, hey, I want to make this type of blend, or I'm making this type of product, or like this signature, and so they just send you the leaves and you just...
I mean, you it's just like ordering offline. I mean, you go in and you basically order what you need. I know what type of blend I like. I know what type of leaves I like to use. I love the Dominican and Nicaraguan leaves, and that's my blend. So that's what I order.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could do that. I thought it was if you're doing the hand roll, you have to have like your own farm and your own place where you ferment, like the guy down in the cigar factory down in
Right.
New Orleans. Like, you got to have your own thing where you're doing all of that.
No, so that's where you're getting your sources from.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So when you go into these factories, they're rolling for a multitude of companies.
Okay.
A multitude. I mean, you made, like, say for instance, General Cigars, they do Cohiba. So there are different Cohiba brands out there. So you have particular rollers that may be rolling just for that Cohiba Black or Cohiba Blue or whatever the case may be. So you may go inside of a factory and they have a multitude, like every cigar that you have in your humidor, it may be housed or up under one umbrella where they're doing all those cigars there.
Wow.
But they're getting their source from their leaves, which they're growing on their farms.
Okay.
So, say for instance, my cigar, if I wanted it to be a cigar that I'm putting inside of a lounge or a store, I would call General Cigars and say, hey, I love your blend of your Nicaraguan and your Dominican. Can you blend me XYZ? So what they'll do is they'll blend you a couple of cigars. You'll come down. You'll have some, tests where you'll smoke the different cigars until you find the blend that you love. And then you'll say, hey, this is my blend. This is my signature. This is what I want. And then from there, that'll be your blend. However, that's not to say that it's not your blend too. It's not to say that it's not the next person's blend. You know what I mean?
So how do you get your because they're making cigars for every. I don't even know.
For a lot of companies.
Yes, for a lot of different companies. Yeah. So how do you go about, like, no, I want my signature thing? You know what I mean?
It's all about branding. It's all about branding. And that's the business process of it. When you're sitting down, because, like, say for instance, you're buying that particular pants from whomever you bought it from. Right. Well, whomever is manufacturing it, they don't care that you want this army fatigue. That's what they produce, right? But you're wanting it to be your brand. So how do you go about branding it for your business?
I mean, you just have your label on there.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But when it comes to taste, though, and the notes, like, you don't want it to be like anybody else's. So do you say, hey, just put a little extra something in there?
Could. Very well could. It's all about tasting. And there could be another cigar that tastes like the cigar that you're smoking. It could be a cigar that tastes like this Isla de Sol. And it may be a different leaf.
Right.
One different leaf can make it different. Right. The way it was rolled, the way it was grown, the soil, all of that plays a role in how your leaves will come out and taste. So
with the hand roll, with the skills of doing the hand roll, like, well, you already kind of answered my question already, was, going through the school to learn how to master the art of rolling it and keeping it, like, consistent every single time. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, to me, would seem like a headache to try and get that, like, every single time. Yeah. Especially when because my anxiety, I'll be at an event trying to set up, and even though I would have, like, pre-roll stuff and I'm still rolling, for people right then and there, I'll have the anxiety of, oh my God, I got to make sure I have this nice and tight for you, and like, oh, I got to hurry up and get all these together.
Well, once you get it, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Like, tell me something that you are great at, something you do. Is it art? Is it fixing a car?
This stuff right here, yeah.
Okay, so look, you're a tech guy.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Right.
But you probably can tell me everything about that camera because you've had the opportunity to go in and study it and know what it does and what it doesn't and how to improve lighting and things of that nature. It's what you're passionate about.
Right.
So therefore it comes second nature to you. When you set these cameras up, you probably did it 10, 15, 20 minutes max?
20 minutes, yeah.
Same thing.
Right.
For me as a cigar roller, when I set that leaf down, it's my base. I already know what position I'm going to put in. I already know what side of the leaf I need to roll from. I already know how I need to straighten it out. And it is about the tightness, because you want to make sure that when you're rolling, it's going to go on smooth and it's going to go on tight, because the worst thing you could want to have is your cigar to unravel.
Right, yeah.
So that's going to be based on your type of wrapper that you roll with as well. It's going to be based on the humidity of how it was dry. It's going to be based on what type of glue you used.
Right.
It's a lot of different things.
Right.
So it's just a matter of you learning what works best and becoming comfortable with it, and it becomes such second nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot
It
going
seems
on.
difficult,
Yeah.
and it seems intimidating, and to some it can be. But if it's something that you're passionate about, you'll get it.
Oh, okay.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
So I'll teach you how to roll if you teach me about all this technology.
Oh yeah, because when we was, when we was talking at the golfing tournament, you was trying to figure out. Oh, well, that was my next question as far as like the whole marketing strategy, because you sound like you're more of a boutique company, right? So trying to get it out, what have been some of the strategies that you want to incorporate to try and get the brand out there a little bit more, like the signature look, I guess you would say.
So a lot of it is by education, and a lot of it is by referrals. In the sales business, it's all about your first sale and it turning into your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth. It's all about presentation.
Right.
For me, I've been in the event business for forever. So there are certain looks that I like. I'm very meticulous of how my table is set up. I'm very meticulous about my client. Like, say, for instance, I do a lot of social events with fraternities.
Okay.
So if I know that you are an Omega, then I'm going to make sure to incorporate some purple and gold in.
Okay.
If I know that you're a Kappa, I'm going to make sure I incorporate some red in. It's about making it signified to your company. Like, say, for instance, the organization that I did the golf tournament for on Friday, I had signature labels with the foundation's name on it. So it's just making that company feel personalized. So for me, again, it's not about me trying to put my cigar inside of a lounge. It's about me enhancing your event. And that's what gives me pleasure. So if you have a company and you say, Nicole, I want to, when my guests come in, I don't want anybody to buy anything. So I'm going to buy a package from you. I want you to put my label on it. I want you to cut, light, educate, whatever you have to do to make my people feel good. That's what I love doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when are you going to start the class? 'Cause I went to the website and I said it was coming soon.
Yes.
So what is that going to be all about?
My goal is to start in January. So I'm putting in some implementations now. A lot of people ask me, where's my brick and mortar? I'm mobile right now, by choice. And if you can look at this day and age of what's going on in the economy, and there are some businesses that are having to, by choice or by force, close because they can't. It's expensive to be in business when you think about the overhead, rent, insurance, all of the above.
Right.
So for me, I can kind of taper my expenses by me being mobile. So for the classes, I'm just having to find somewhere that's going to be safe, number one, that's going to be kind of in the middle where people don't have to travel far to get to it, and somewhere that's steady. So I'm in the process of looking for a place like that as of now. I had an opportunity earlier this year. Have you ever heard of the Concept House? Okay, so there's a business called the Concept House. The one that I went to is in Castleberry Hill. That's near the Mercedes Stadium.
Yeah.
And in this house, it houses a multitude of businesses.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say they're all black businesses, but from what I saw, they were all black businesses of all types. So if you wanted to learn how to make shea butter, to make perfume, one of my girlfriends, her company is Divine Libations. You learn how to make wine there. Learn how to make whatever you want to possibly think you can learn how to do. It's housed in this Concept House. So with this Concept House, whoever this person is a genius. He took this building, gutted it out, made it into like little offices, and he rents out the offices to the business owners, and it's their little hub. Right. And they, you have a business there. So just to think about it, I'll probably try to look for something like that. So I can have something that is not conglomerate where it's big and I'm totally responsible for it, but I have my little piece where I can afford it to do it.
I know that was one of the things that the manager here was had mentioned to me as well, to find out from you like when you was going to start doing your classes, because that's something that they wanted to I guess display here at one point in time. The art of cigar rolling.
Absolutely. And that's another thing too. Even though I'm wanting to find a home per se, I would love to basically partner with the different lounges as well, and it's something that they want to offer to their clients like once a month. Right. Once a month at Cigar Bank, every second Saturday, there's going to be a cigar rolling class.
I think that'll be a really great idea. I mean, now that you just educated me on the fact that you can smoke your cigar if you have if you put it together, you could smoke it, right?
Yeah.
45 minutes or an hour after you put it together.
Absolutely. So with my classes that I've done in the past, I do a lot during like special occasions. Like I do them a lot during Father's Day. So with the class, you'll come in and I'll have it all set up. And include your chavetta, include your cigar leaves, and include your mold.
Chavetta, that's what's
the chavetta is the tool that you use to cut the leaves with.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. And so everything you need to roll a cigar, I'll have it for you. So it's literally set up like a classroom. And I just go in and do my thing. I teach them a little history about cigars and what to expect during the class. And it's very interactive.
How long would that class be?
My classes typically are about an hour and a half to 2 hours. 2 hours being max, and it's because I give opportunities for Q&A.
Okay.
And for pictures and forever camaraderie, whatever the case may be. So 2 hours max.
Yeah, we definitely need to collab, because as soon as you started saying that, I just started thinking about,
let's do it.
Valentine's Day, where couples pay for classes to learn how to make cigars with each other.
And here in Atlanta, I follow a lot of influencers, right? And they are constantly going to axe throwing. You can sip and paint. You can learn how to blow glass. There is one company, charcuterie boards. There is another class where you can learn how to sew rugs. Like it's just so much to do.
That's the thing that I like about Atlanta, is that there's always something here to do.
Yes.
That is catered, and it's not just the thing to do. It's centered around entertaining you at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're learning how to do something, but you're being entertained at the same time.
Yes.
That's the unique thing about Atlanta that I love. And it all started, I started recognizing it with the sip and paint, because I was just like, wait a minute, you tell me a whole bunch of women going to a place to drink and paint.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, right. And then I saw clips of it on Instagram and stuff like that. I was like, these ladies don't lost their mind. They are having a good time doing this.
But here's the thing. You remember what you described to me about the feeling that you got when you first smoked? It's like a R&R. It's a relaxation and relief when people go and do something, because your typical 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job, and then you may be married, you may be a parent, you may be taking care of a parent. It's a lot of things that are going on in life. As people are saying now, life be lifing.
Yeah.
And you just want to do something to kind of take you away, even if it's just for an hour or two. So for me, teaching people about what they smoke, is not only entertaining, but it's educational.
Right.
Because a lot of times people don't know what the ingredients are for the composition of a cigar, or what the composition entails. So I've been in education for a long time too. In my career, I've done a lot of educating people. Even in sales, you're educating people about your product in order to get them to buy it, right? So for me, education comes second nature, and I love doing it. So it's what I do.
So basically, for your sales training, for this one right here, what is your top pitch for getting clients to come in, like to getting clients to pay for your services? Like, what is your top thing? Like, this gets me the client every time, or is it different?
The very first thing is education. So when someone typically contacts me, it's based off a referral. It is based off of them have seen me at another event, or someone has told them about me, and what have you. So when they first contact me, I get information about what they're trying to do. If it may be a birthday party, it may be a cigar rolling class, it may be a social event, whatever the case may be. I need to be educated as far as what you need and what you desire,
so you can cater it around that. So
when I discover what you need and what you desire, then I, like you said, cater it and taper it to what they're needing. And I always do recommendations. A lot of times people say, I'm going to have 200 people that are coming. Well, all 200 people are not going to smoke. So for me, it's in this business, in a sales business, you don't want it to be your last sale. So therefore, I'm not going to sell you something just to try to get that one sale. I want you to continue referring me or keep calling me back. So I'll say, Probably only 10, maybe 20% of the people going to smoke. So I would recommend you start out with a small package. And what I always do is just like in catering, you always bring over an X amount or X percentage to make sure you compensate for there being extra, you know? And I would say, hey, if it comes to where you're 25, it's going to be gone quickly and you want to make sure that you have more, I'll make sure that I have more for you. Okay. And they appreciate that because they're not feeling, it makes them feel like I'm not trying to gouge them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it makes them appreciate you and say, you know, she was very educational to me. She wanted my business. I want her business. I'm going to refer her to someone else, or I'm going to use her for another event.
Yeah, you know, when you just said the catering thing, I was just like, oh yeah, that's just like doing catering an event.
Yeah.
But you're doing it with cigars instead of food.
A lot of stuff transcends into each other's transferable skills. Yeah. And I say that again because I've been in hospitality, so.
Yeah. and that's what I realized here when I started working here, you know, people are buying cigars from the humidor, but the rest of this is really just catering to people.
Yes.
Just taking care of them.
It's customer service.
Yeah, they want to be treated.
How you make a person feel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because they already have that expectation of how they want to feel, and then you just add a little extra onto it.
Yeah. So I've had the opportunity to work in lounges. One of my very first cigar lounges that I work in, shout out to Cigar City Club in Roswell.
Okay.
So there, a lot of times when I have men that come in because they have this macho-ness about them and they're like, I want to smoke this, I want to smoke that. Then I have a conversation. I was like, have you ever smoked before? And they were like, no. I'm like, you don't want to smoke that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll make them feel good. I'm like, what I'm going to do, I'm going to slip the label off for you so nobody know that you're smoking a Tatiana. But I suggest you smoke a Tatiana. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just about catering to them, making them feel good. And that's what brings them back.
You know, that's funny with cigars. It's like the only, it's the, if you want to call it, let's just call it a vice. Mm-hmm. It's the only vice where people feel intimidated to get into it. Like nobody feel intimidated about drinking.
Right.
Nobody feel intimidated about going to weed. Right. Nobody feel intimidated about cigarettes. Right. But cigar is the one thing that people are just like, I want to try it, but I'm kind of like, I don't know what
it's
to do.
It's all about the education.
And I'm like, and I get it on one side. Like some people come across snobs who are just like wine, right? Like the snobby wine person that, you know, whatever. But I've learned that that's in the cigar culture as well.
But you have to think about it, though. Everybody started from somewhere. Right. There may be some people that started with Leaf by Oscar. Very well may be. Right. For me, I didn't. I started from somewhere and I built up to Leaf by Oscars or whatever else I smoke. And just most recently, a girlfriend of mine put me on to Leaf by Oscar. I've been seeing these. I used to work inside of a humidor. I've been seeing them. I just never had the desire to try them. And once I tried it, I loved it. Right. And for me, I'm more of a medium body girl.
Yeah, me too.
And some people are intimidated by smoking bold cigars because they think, oh, if you smoke bold, it's going to get me too high or it's going to be too strong. Right. But because the leaf is a dark Maduro leaf, doesn't necessarily all means that it's going to be a bold cigar. And that comes with learning about your blend of the cigar.
This is what, and I don't even know what I was smoking, but I haven't had it since.
Okay.
It was another cigar that somebody gave me. And all I know, it wasn't even like a really dark cigar. I think it was maybe like a medium. I don't know the brand. This is before I even knew anything about it.
Okay.
Somebody just handed me a cigar at a party, and I smoked it, and I got this amazing body high.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know what I smoked, but
Now, did you retrohale it, or you just?
I don't know what I did. Yeah. All I know, I was smoking it. I knew not to inhale it.
Right.
And the retrohale, I didn't know anything about that back then. I was just smoking it.
Yeah.
But I got this amazing body high to where I was just like, oh my God, that is good.
You're kind of like floating.
Yeah. And I have no idea what blend it was. I don't know I don't know the strength or whatever. I don't know the name of it. But I was just like, if I can go back in time
That is a great segue.
Okay.
So what I tell people, if you find something that you like, make sure you keep your label.
Keep your label.
Keep
yes.
your label. Or take a picture of it. Because depending on your night, you
have no idea if you're going to ever come across it.
So if you find something that you like, take a picture of it and make sure you keep that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when I found a cigar that I like, I may not keep the label depending on where I am, but I'll take a picture of that. No, that way I've made a notation of it and I'll go back to it.
But I know it wasn't infused. It wasn't infused.
Got you.
I know that.
Got
but
you.
whatever it was, I was just like, man, I wish I could go back and find out. Because I would buy a whole box.
Yeah.
I would spend that $300 to buy that whole box.
Well, how long ago has it been?
This is like 5 years ago.
Do you remember the lounge?
It wasn't a lounge. It was at somebody's house.
Oh.
Yeah, it was at my best friend's house.
Oh,
and we just bought again, this was when I was kind of doing it occasionally, every now and then.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we was buying. We just bought cigars.
Gotcha.
And I was just like, this taste. Well, it made me feel so good.
Oh, we're gonna have to find. We had to find something to make you feel like that again.
And I think I know, like, I tell the people that I work with here all the time is like, I want to cross over because I mostly buy like infused stuff. Like the Tabacs is my favorite. Those are the ones I go to all the time.
Tabac has an anniversary one. It's really good now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I need to go over and cross over. The only one I crossed over so far was the Cohiba Rubicon.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's the only one I crossed over with so far. But
Yeah.
I'm so desperate to go and just start trying stuff so I could just see what's
out there.
It doesn't even matter what it is. I just want that feeling again.
Yeah.
Like,
now, have you had the opportunity by working here to go to PCA? Okay.
I heard about it.
So if you get a chance, it comes every year as well. This past year was in April in New Orleans. So it'll be that same time, same place again. It's typically in Vegas, which Vegas is a good time. But being in New Orleans, it was a great time. You visited New Orleans before?
I go to New Orleans. We go to New Orleans all the time. My wife hates me because
I love New Orleans.
Because when we go to New Orleans, because she doesn't smoke, she doesn't drink.
Okay.
Right? So when we go to New Orleans, I say we're gonna go and we're gonna go do whatever it is that she wants to do.
Got you.
But at the end of the night, I'm walking Bourbon Street.
Okay.
And is there going to be a cigar in my hand? So
Gotcha.
you can go back to the hotel room, go to sleep, do whatever you want to do. But
Gotcha.
I'm walking the street and I'm going to have a cigar in my hand.
Yeah, gotcha.
And that is my night. I ain't got to go into no club. I ain't got to do nothing but just walk Bourbon Street and just have a nice cigar.
Yeah.
And then in Vegas, I haven't had one in Vegas. But like New Orleans, I think we went during
New Orleans, when that place was known for liquor and cigars.
New Orleans is my spot.
Love it too. Love it too.
Miami's my spot. Vegas is my spot. I want to go back to we want to go back to the DR, but she's one of those people like once we've gone there, now she's on to the next trip, and I'm like, well, here's the thing I don't like. I don't like feeling like a tourist when I go somewhere.
Yeah.
So once we go once,
I want to go
back.
Yeah.
To feel like, okay, I know where I'm at. Yeah. Like I want to go and do those same things, but now I'm a little bit more experienced about it.
Yeah.
And so when we go to New Orleans, like we're gonna go check out these restaurants.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to this spot. We're gonna go to that spot. But I definitely like we used to go, not this year, but maybe like the last 3 years, we would go at least twice a year.
Yeah, I love New Orleans. Now, when you go there, do you go to the cigar bars that are there, the lounges? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Again, it's not even a special store or lounge that I go to. I just go in and get cigars and come out.
Yeah. It's all about the camaraderie as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You can just literally walk in somewhere and sit down.
really just go there for the casinos. Like, I just go to the casinos.
Really?
And then after the casinos, we go get a steak, something to eat. And then I go get my cigar. And then I'm chilling for the rest of the... But, you know, it has to be like an event that we're going to. So we will go to the Essence Festival. And then we go to the Jazz Fest.
Gotcha.
So that's why we would always go twice a year.
Gotcha.
To go to those two events.
So PCA is a great event. It's a Premium Cigar Association event, and it brings together anybody or any company that is cigar associated. Mm-hmm. They're under one house. Okay. And it was held at the convention center last year.
Okay.
And you know, of course, you've been to the Essence Festival, so you know how huge that convention center is. So from wall to wall, it's all about cigars. Every type of cigar company there is they're in there.
And you say it's around April? Or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So look up PCA.org, and it'll let you know exactly when the actual conference is going to be for next year. Okay. And it's not all about the trade show as well, because the trade show is a couple of days during the week, but it's all about the camaraderie as well. So therefore, a lot of people do some pre-events, pre-parties. They do some parties during the actual days that you're there, and then some after parties as well. So it gives you a chance to kind of, see who else is in the cigar industry from around the world, actually. Yeah. Yeah. The culture is a big family.
I'm going to have to get a couple guys to go with me, because I know she's not going to go.
Yeah.
So, I definitely got to go.
There's definitely a networking opportunity. And a lot of people go there to establish accounts as well, because, like I said, all the cigar companies are there. So if you ever wanted to see who sells for whatever company, that person is going to be there.
Because I think that's one of the things I'm going to look to in the future as well, is having my own cigar.
Nice.
And, but I want it to look a certain way.
Yeah.
The blend, not so, like, again, I'm not so much worried about the blend, but from the marketing aspect, I just want it to look a certain way. So when I market it like, oh, that's.
Yeah. So that's why you need to go to the cigar factories.
Okay.
So that therefore you'll have the opportunity to sit down with master blenders and see what the entire process is from the beginning to the end, even to the point of packaging.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know when we went to the DR, that was one of the things that I think it was called El Rancho, something like that. But that was the one thing that they, funny story, right? So again, I went there and I just fell in love when I went there. I was just like, oh my God, look at all these cigars. And they was fresh, and walked into the humidor and I was just like, oh my God. And I'm just thinking I'm just going to buy like one or two. And because, we're in a whole nother country and dealing with customs and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, so how many can I bring over? And da-da-da-da. He was like, you could bring over 100. I was like, no. Like, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I just want to buy some and just take them. He was like, yeah, you could just buy a bundle of 100 and take them with you.
Yeah.
100 cigars.
So you were thinking 100 for me, 100 for my wife, 100 for my friend. That's 300.
So I'm thinking 100 for me.
Okay, got you.
So this is the bug they put into my ear, because they always just, they didn't have no labels or anything on them.
Right.
He was just like, well, we could package them up and put labels and all that stuff on there for you, and you can have your own brand of cigar. And I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
So he was just like, yeah. And so that's when we started talking about, well, how many can I take over? Because I was going to bring some samples over for me and my cousin and some friends to just smoke them.
Right.
And he was like, well, you could bring over 100. And I was just like, okay. So I bought the 100. And of course, I smoked a couple of them while we was there.
Yeah.
And you talking about, you could have, I could have been smuggling cocaine. That's how nervous I was. I just knew somebody was going to stop me. Like, no. You getting arrested. You can't do this. But everything went through fine.
Yeah.
But when I got back here to the States, I think I gave a couple of them out, but most of them I smoked myself.
Got you.
But
so when you smoked them, were you smoking them just for novice purposes, or were you really trying to hone in on, I like this particular blend, so this is
both.
Something. Okay, got you.
Because this was the first time I actually bought fresh cigars from an actual farm.
Got you. Okay.
And they was treated and stored properly.
Yes.
Versus just being in the store.
Yes.
And so that's why I was just like, oh my God, like, if I can get this type of cigar from the actual farm itself,
right,
then I'm already, like, I got a leg up.
Right.
And so that was my mindset. But when I got back to the States, and like I said, life be lifing, and I was just like, man, I got to get back to the DR so that I can see if I can still do that.
Now, did you know that, it's very common to know that there are factories, farms that are located in DR, that are located in Nicaragua, things of that nature. But did you know that the United States has farms as well?
Yes. And so that's what I found out when, I forgot what's the guy's name. He's the rep for Drew Estates. And he was telling me, like, the one they have in Connecticut, and I think it's one in Florida as well, right?
Yes, and the Carolinas as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh, okay, so I don't have to go that far to go and look for something. But Florida's like my state. Like, I like going to Florida, so I was like, one of these days I'm probably going to go down there and do some research to see what I can get a really nice one for myself.
Got you.
Yeah. So.
Well, I have some friends that are working on some things here in the state of Georgia.
Oh, really?
We talked about licensing before. The difference between having a manufacturing license, a distribution license, things of that nature. For me, I'm not interested in it, but I have some friends that have been in this world, in the cigar culture, I should say, world for forever, and they're native of those said countries. So they're trying to incorporate where Georgia will be a base for distribution and manufacturing.
Really?
So more to come on that. And that's going to be a game changer, especially for lounges and people as yourself that want to make their own blend.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily won't have to go to DR and to...
Because literally that was my only hiccup.
Yeah.
Because I was literally trying to figure out, man, I got to put this money together so I can go back to the DR.
Yeah.
And this was 4 years ago.
Gotcha. Yeah. So more to come on that. More to come.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this has been fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, before we go. Okay. So for your brands, for your cigars, because I
got to tell who I am. What do you mean tell me? We don't know. The world don't know who I am.
I thought we did at the beginning. Did we do that at the beginning?
We did.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you guys know who I am? Well, my name is Nico Brewer, and I am the owner of the Smokers Concierge. It is a mobile cigar concierge service, and I provide services and enhance events.
Okay.
So, say, for instance, if your company wants to do something different for their said gala, golf tournament, social event, contact me. I can be reached on all platforms. Instagram, Facebook is at The Smokers Concierge. My email address is info@thesmokersconcierge.com. My website is www.thesmokersconcierge.com. And I can be contacted 404-941-6460.
Okay.
So yes.
Yeah.
This has been a great year for me.
Yeah.
It's been great meeting you as well.
Yeah.
And this is the thing about being in this industry. You get to meet a lot of people.
Right.
And I've had the pleasure of doing that.
Yeah.
Especially being a female. We talked about how is it being a female in the industry.
Yes, in this industry, yeah.
For me, it's been great. It's been great.
So no pushback other than that one person.
Yeah. And it's so crazy. That one person we're still in the community.
Really?
But for me, being the professional and the charismatic person that I am, I never let that person know how that made me feel. And the old saying is basically it's not what you say, is how you make that person feel.
Right.
I've toyed back and forth with if I've ever was going to share that. Mm-hmm. But some things, how you choose your battles.
Right.
And that's just a battle I've chosen not to.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Because at the end of the day, what it gave me is ammunition.
Right.
And that's why.
Just imagine if they did give you that information, then maybe you wouldn't have gone down the journey you went down. Exactly.
And that's who I am and where I am today because of that. So if anything, thank you.
Yeah. Because even though we don't like pushback, we don't like adversities, they do help us.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's like riding a bike. If you're going to keep those training wheels on, you're never going to learn how to ride it without the training wheels. So sometimes you have to be pushed off the ledge in order to go for what you know. So yeah.
So in a lot of the social circles that you go through, is it hard to for people to really take you serious until you really show them I know my business.
People keep people. It's too crazy.
Because you're around a lot of men, so it's just
because a lot of times, and there are a lot of women that are in the industry. There are a lot of concierges that are out here, and kudos. And here's the thing: people would think that because there are a lot of companies such as me that are out there, what makes you different from the next person? I am what makes me different.
Right.
Who's to say that you may want to do business with, business A versus business B? What is going to make me different? I sell myself on you needing to work with me.
Right.
And given the opportunity, I can show you what I can present for you and how I made your guests or your clients feel at said event or what have you. Mm-hmm. And given that opportunity, you'll see it for yourself.
Right.
You know, it's just like if you've never driven a Lexus before, your brother may have one, your sister may have one, your homeboys, but have you driven it? And
Right.
if you've driven it, right, and you decide, I really like this.
Right.
Now my next fleet of cars are going to be Lexus, this, that, and this. It just takes that one time. So therefore, for me, it's just giving that opportunity to present and to do it, and then the sky's the limit for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend for some of your blends, some of your cigars, the drinks that go with them?
So before I became totally immersed into the cigar world, I was a white liquor girl.
Okay.
Still am. I love my vodkas and my tequilas. However, what blends well with cigars are either Malbecs, which is red blends. We're talking about wine, or whiskeys or bourbons.
Yeah.
The notes go together. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when I'm doing tastings, I just did a tasting with a very reputable, and I'll mention that later, but a very reputable liquor line a couple of months ago. And I've tasted it before, but I had to re-educate myself on it because, you know, things change. Liquors also go through changes where they may change the formula, right, or they may do different lines or what have you. So I had to actually make sure that I understood what their blend was in order to blend it with what I currently have. Mm-hmm. So when I did this particular tasting, I was educated first on what I felt like would go with my cigars. Yeah. So we did it at Cigar City Club. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I asked people are, have you smoked? That's the very most important question that you can ask a person, because that is going to depend on the next line of questioning. Okay. And then secondly, if they have smoked, what do you typically smoke? What is your palate? Mild, medium, full body? And then from there, then I can say, okay, I recommend you smoke this with this particular pairing. Mm-hmm. So for me, it just depends on what you like. If you are a whiskey bourbon type of person, then I ask you specifically, what do you drink? Mm-hmm. Some people may do, again, I'm not a bourbon person, but some people may name a bourbon that you may like.
I'm more of a spicy rum.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I like spicy rum.
So we'll say Woodford Reserve, or we'll say Jack Daniels. I just recently went to the Jack Daniels distillery not too long ago and tasted some of their whiskeys. So therefore, I mean, it just depends. It just depends.
I'm not really a big bourbon drinker. I like cognac.
Yeah, got you.
I like the Crown.
Got you.
And of course, I drink red wine when I really want to chill.
Yes. I'm a red wine girl as well. Yeah. So it just depends, and it also depends on how you feeling. Like a lot of times with the cigars, they go mainly, you know, the culture says with bourbons and whiskey. Yeah. But I've smoked a cigar drinking tequila as well. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I've smoked a cigar drinking vodka. You know, it just depends.
Yeah.
It's what your palate and what you like, and to that I would say, to the cigar world, don't let anyone belittle you and make you feel like you don't know what you're talking about, or because you don't drink this, you're not really a drinker, or you're not really a smoker. Everybody started from somewhere, right? And go at your own pace. That's my recommendation for anybody. Go at your own pace.
And again, like you just said, it's just recommendation.
Yes.
You know, what you like is what you like. What they like is what they like.
Absolutely.
They may like something a little bit stronger. You may need something a little bit softer. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just to what you're comfortable with.
Exactly.
Because I normally don't smoke a really strong cigar or drink a really strong drink because I still want to be able to function. So I don't go hard in the paint. So I have things to do the next day. And most likely I'm someplace where I got to drive back home. So I don't want to get myself too messed up to where I can't, you know what I mean? So my thing is, if I am going to get something really strong, drink whatever, I'm gonna do that at home.
Yes.
So, because all I have to do is worry about just walking upstairs and just falling into the bed.
Exactly.
So,
because everywhere here is a 30, 45 minute drive.
Yes.
Child.
And then, depending on the traffic, it's going to be even longer.
Right.
And if you get pulled over, you ain't going home at all.
Exactly.
So, other than that one cigar that I gotta find just that feeling or whatever. Most of the time, if I'm out and about just smoking something, I just want a little kick, but I still need to function later on.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
But but this has been fun.
Absolutely.
I really want to. We probably don't have enough time to do it now, but I know originally we planned on having you do a demonstration.
Yes.
But we got to get together because I really want to film that.
Absolutely.
I really want to film that. So we got to schedule that maybe at one of your events.
Yeah, we could do that.
Or I want to do it before.
I'll come back.
Yeah, come back.
What I would love to do is, before we go, I would love to have a panel of my sisters of the leaf. And the reason being is because, a lot of times, like I say, it's a male-dominated industry, right? And I just feel like we need to come together so that people can see us in our purest, authentic light. Ladies.
When do you want to do that?
Whenever. Listen, my sisters are always ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. Okay. And they're with all walks of life as well, all different industry. I have some sisters that do what I do, right? They're concierge. I want to do a shout out really quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of people, and I think we may have touched on this before, but I consider myself an anomaly in this industry. Not necessarily because I'm a female, but because I'm an African-American female cigar roller. They are not a lot of us out there.
And that's what I was asking earlier.
Right. They're not a lot. Now, if you Google and you put in female cigar rollers, there's some gonna come up. But they're not gonna be a lot of us.
Okay.
And I want to change that because there are some companies that are out there that are female cigar rollers and they are of other ethnicities, right? But if you know what you know, the black dollar is a huge dollar when it comes to spending in the United States of America. So therefore, I want us as a conglomerate, as far as females in this industry, to build.
Yeah.
And so therefore, when people Google, no matter where they are, they can be in California, they can be in DR, they can be in Canada. I want them to see us at the forefront as well. So I do want to create a space where we can all come together and to sit down and to talk about what we all can bring to the table.
That was my question that I was trying to get to last time. Have you ever thought about doing like not just an event, but like an organization where all the females, like educating females on the culture of like, you could be a part of this as well.
Absolutely.
Not just, because that's what it was. We was talking about like more women was gravitating towards hookah. Yeah. But I was just like, how do you get more women
and educate them about cigars?
Cigars.
Now there are organizations out there. There's a Sister of the Leaf movement. There are different individual organizations out there. There are even some organizations that are here that has a group of women that they do community things and but it's more cigar oriented. So they'll go to and patronize lounges or what have you to make sure that they are bringing business into said lounges. So we do have that.
We need to do that here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Saturday nights here are not as busy as Friday nights.
Okay, so you hear that, ladies?
So Saturday nights here,
the Cigar Bank needs our business.
Yes.
On Saturday nights.
Yes.
All the ladies, hey, let's put together an event. Saturday night.
We could call the event Lady of the Leaves, Lady of the Night Smoking Cigars, whatever it is, but to have you and your like Ladies of the Leaves sisterhood just come here, educate, do the panel, because on Wednesday nights they already have every other Wednesday they do wealth wine and wealth whiskey and wine.
Okay.
But that's every Wednesday night where people buying tickets to come in and have guest speakers.
Yeah. Give
people like information on how to better build their wealth and stuff like that.
Nice.
We could do the same thing on a Saturday.
Yep.
Where
sure can.
The women are coming every other Saturday or something like that. Y'all coming through and y'all giving like how to roll and the industry and just inviting women to come in to learn about this.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of women that come in here and they always ask for something infused sweet.
Gotcha.
So we have the Luckies down there and they eat those up. Like they constantly buy.
Do you have any Tatianas?
No, not yet, but I think they're ordering some. But that's our equivalent to Tatiana, the Luckies.
Yeah.
But I'm finding out that women like to smoke cigars, but it's very is that
Sorry.
your alarm? But they'll smoke the cigar as long as it has an infused flavor to it that is give them the kick, but also a nice scent to it.
So this is one of the cigars that I love. Again, I know you probably have never smoked the Ala de Sol.
Yeah, I smoke those all the time. Yeah.
So it's more of a Sumatra sweet taste, but it's throughout. So therefore, the go-tos all the time is because people know the Tatianas, they go to Tatianas. But whenever I can recommend something else, not that I have anything against Tatianas, because I love Tatianas as well. But I always tell them about this or other, like Deadwood, which is a Drew Estate cigar as well. Deadwood has a cigar that's out, Dominicana, that's really good.
That's what I was just about to say. We recommend
Yes,
they eat
it's
those
really
up.
good.
The Dominicanos,
really
especially
good.
the small one.
Yes.
Yeah, they love those.
Yeah.
They never like the big fat ones, but they like the small little petite ones.
Yeah.
That
and I too,
Hypnotics.
with my cigars, even though I have my blend, I do infuse my cigars.
Okay.
So I have a client that her significant other loves Remy 1738. So whenever she purchases for him, I'll infuse it with that. So really? I tell people that all the time. Yeah. So sometimes when I go to my different events, I have infused cigars where I've infused
I was going to ask you earlier, did you do that?
Yep. I infuse them with bourbon or tequila. And a lot of times when people see that, they'll buy them out. Gives you an extra kind of high, you know?
Right.
Yeah. But before we go, I wanted to, I was going to do a shout out because I told you that I know that I'm an anomaly.
Oh, yes.
But I'm not the only anomaly. I had the pleasure of meeting another Black female cigar roller. Okay. Her name is Monique Henderson. She's based in Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to Mo. And her business is the Cigar Den. And
Cigar Den?
Cigar Den. Yes, Cigar Den. So I had a chance to meet her when we were at Pro Cigar in Dominican Republic in 2024.
Okay.
Had never met each other before. And I'm a very social person. So when I was there at the welcome reception, I was just going around giving people my card, introduced myself. So walked up to her, introduced myself. And, you know, it's not common that we see a lot of us there.
Right.
So we kind of gravitated to each other and we started talking and realized that we were staying in the same hotel on the same floor around the corner from each other. And we got to talking and realized that we were in the same industry. And that's the beauty of it.
It's a good feeling,
you know?
right?
Yeah, to know that you can go places. And I went there by myself. And one of the people that I met there that actually invited me, I said, yeah, I've come by myself. He said, no, you're not by yourself. You're with family. You know? And that's what the cigar industry is. It is a family. So, but I wanted to shout her out because I am not the only Black female cigar roller. So she's a prominent figure up in Detroit.
Okay.
I went to.
Did she ever travel to Atlanta?
She's traveled to Atlanta before, yeah. And we've been so busy. God has blessed us with both our businesses. And she and I have been so busy this year. We've talked several times and I'm like, I'm going to come up to see you and, you know, we're going to get back together. And we never had an opportunity to. So hopefully, not to say that our business will slow down because that's not what we're wishing, but maybe one weekend we'll be able to get together and kind of just, you know, hang out with each other. So I love meeting her to see someone like me that was doing the same thing. And the one thing about it is we give each other props. It's not about a jealousy thing.
Right.
She'll ask me questions. I'll ask her questions. We feed each other. And that is the beauty about it.
Right.
In this industry. And that's why I say I want all of our females to get together because a lot of times I feel like sometimes there is competition and a lot
but it don't need to be.
It really doesn't because there is enough out here for everyone. Everyone. And everyone has their niche. When people contact me and, you know, I always, you know, say, just like you going to the doctor, whatever the case may be, you know, you're always going to get a second, third request for proposal, right?
Yeah, okay.
And I congratulate you to do that. But my pitch is you're going to come back to me.
Right.
Just because. Yeah. And it's not about being cocky. It's not about being saying that my services are better than the next said cigar roller or it being financially comparable. I just know, you know. And when you know what you know, you know what you know. And it is what it is. And at the end of the day has to end.
Well, this has been a really great conversation.
It really has. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And meeting you and you educating me, because like I said, I'm not well versed at all. I just like what I like. But just learning the little stuff that I've learned when I was here, I was pretty decent. But the stuff you just asked, the business side,
yes,
is what I didn't know much about, like getting the blends and all that kind of, like the networking of the business side is something that is not widely known.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of people can get into this industry, not just from the customer side of just smoking, but you can actually start a business in this, and it can be very prominent.
And it's all about being official too.
Yeah.
So make sure if you're thinking about getting into the business, become official. Meaning, make sure you get the proper licenses, get the proper insurance, and make sure you're official.
Yeah.
Because you want people to take you serious.
Because I mean, you know, if you can start the weed business when it's not illegal, I mean, when it's illegal.
Yeah.
Well, cigars is legal.
Yeah, it is. Even though in the government they've given the industry a run for the money.
Oh, really?
But that's the reason why we have organizations such as Premium Cigar Association that have lobbyists that are on boots on the ground, you know, trying to educate the government about the industry, so they can be well versed in it. So they won't treat this industry as just another tobacco industry, because in the United States, it's all about a barter system. It's all about what can I get before I can give you what you can get. You know,
that'll be
taxes and everything.
That'll be a great talking point when we get together for that event. You know, educating people on how to get into the industry.
Absolutely, it's so much to learn. It's so much. It looks easy, but it's not. When you get into the business aspect of it. So yeah, I would love to do that. Yeah. And it's not to say that I know everything. There are more people that may know more aspects. So that's why I say I just think we need to come together as one.
I don't think there's a lot of people that are trying to hold back people from getting into the business, but I don't hear it being talked about as much versus, well, this is just a special blend and this is what it tastes like and this is where you can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hear more of the consumption side, but not the business side of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think
probably need to start a movement.
Start a movement on that. Yeah. Okay. We got something to talk about.
Yeah. We got a lot of work to do.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And thank y'all for watching the episode.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah. Bye.